The U.S. federal judge has granted the Justice Department's request to unseal the warrant that allowed the FBI to search former U.S. President Donald Trump's Florida home this week. Here's a live look at Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago, where agents seized several documents labeled top secret. This all happening on Monday. Trump blasted the raid at the time, but last night called for the search warrant to be released. Let's bring in CTV's Washington Bureau Chief, Joy Malbon, who is following this for us. So, Joy, let's talk about now what we're actually learning in terms of what was in that warrant and what those agents were looking for.
Yeah, well, here it is. This is the search warrant. It's not terribly long. It's only 7 pages. But what it does list is 11 sets of boxes labeled top secret, classified, and the highest classification, which is called TSI. We don't know what's in the boxes. We do know that the Washington Post and other outlets are reporting that the FBI was searching for materials or documents related to nuclear weapons or nuclear secrets. It doesn't really tell you in this search warrant what they actually found. It just lists the number of boxes and the classification on it. It does tell you where they were searching. They were searching in what's labeled 45 office, which is obviously the office of the 45th president, which is Donald Trump, in his beach resort, Mar-a-Lago. They were searching the basement. They were searching different areas for these documents. In total, 20 boxes have been retrieved now. But I just want to go back with just a little bit of background here, because earlier this year, they retrieved something like 15 boxes. And then there were negotiations between the Trump team and National Archives saying, look, we think you have more. We want more. But negotiations somehow broke down. Then there was a subpoena, a less intrusive way. And then when that subpoena was ignored or not adhered to, that's when the FBI took this action that many Republicans and Trump supporters are quite furious about. Searching a former president's home is just unprecedented.
Indeed. And interestingly enough, adding to all of that, Trump himself, and we know that there was a back and forth, now saying yes, supporting the release of the warrant.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump has been posting quite a lot since Monday. But here's the irony in all of this. He had this search warrant. He had this on Monday. He could have made it public instead of going through this route of going to a court and having both sides say, yes, we don't object, yes, we don't object, or if they wanted to object. So, I mean, he could have done this as of Monday. Yeah, it's been an incredible journey. Donald Trump has been posting quite a lot about this. First, he said, look, I'm encouraging them to make this public, but he could have made it public himself. But he's also defending himself with a familiar playbook that we've heard from Donald Trump, calling it a witch hunt, calling it a hoax, saying Russia, 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 and defending himself that way.
Yeah. So what happens now, Joy? 20 or so boxes, so a lot of information that they're going to have to sift through. What are you going to be watching for now?
Well, you said it there. What happens next? I mean, there are no charges, no indictment. Right. But this is serious stuff, confidential, classified information. I don't know what's in those boxes. Certainly, there's lots of speculation. But if it could run the gamut of, is this a violation of the Espionage Act? Is it a fact that you've taken government records that should not be taken away? Either way, it's a serious crime. Should charges be brought forward? And it could end up, if Mr. Trump is found guilty or indicted, it could end up that he could be fined or be put in jail for some time, as well as being barred from running for future office.
And it will also,
which, of course, we all know. Well, I was just going to say, which we all know, everybody's waiting for him to pull the plug on that presidential run.
Yeah, and we're hearing predictions that he's ready and geared up already to place his bid. So, yeah, a lot to be looking at. Indeed, CTV's Joy Malbon for us in Washington. Joy, thank you for this.